The 2024 Washington GOP Convention is in Spokane right now. What party leaders have planned ahead of the busy weekend?
And the scattered showers are popping up for this afternoon. We're tracking the latest on where those are and are heading on Doppler radar.
And in the next 15 minutes right here on KREM News at noon, the reasons behind our lack of sleep and how you might be able to fix it. Hi everyone, so good to see you. Welcome to KREM News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti. It is 12 o'clock right now. We begin with this. The man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students says he was out driving when the killings took place. That is the official alibi submitted by Brian Koberger's defense team yesterday. Last summer, Koberger claimed he was out driving alone at the time of the murders. The new alibi submitted says specifically he was south of Pullman and west of Moscow when it happened. He says cell phone data he believes will corroborate his claims, and he plans to offer testimony from an expert to show he was not in the area at the time of the murders. Koberger is expected back in court next month for a hearing on whether or not his trial will be moved out of Latah County. And we are learning more about what happened last week when a woman allegedly ran over and killed a man with his own truck. That woman now says the 70-year-old man offered her money for sex. Newly released court documents say Gerald Fox offered 27-year-old Alyssa Bray a ride last Tuesday while she was walking along Sunset Highway. Police say at some point, Bray took control of the truck, allegedly hitting and killing Fox in the process. Police later found Fox partially clothed on the side of the road. When police interviewed Bray, she said, quote, "He wanted more of me and it gave me a gross feeling." And then, quote, "I didn't have to kill him." Police arrested Bray on first-degree murder charges and entered her plea before a judge yesterday.
Do we have a plea in the case?
Yes, she'll plead not guilty, Your Honor.
The state's asking to maintain the bond of $1 million.
The deceased, Gerald Fox, was found guilty of possessing child pornography in 2022. He was a registered sex offender in Spokane County. Bray is set to be arraigned at a later date. Covering Kootenai County now, a sheriff's deputy crashed his patrol car into an electrical pole yesterday. The deputy was not seriously hurt, and his canine partner was not harmed either in the crash. Idaho State Police are now investigating what happened. Also, the Coeur d'Alene Police Department is growing. They broke ground on the expansion of its new headquarters. Plans have been in the works for nearly 2 years. The whole project cost a little more than $6 million. Coeur d'Alene Police say they need the expansion because they just ran out of room in the current building, and they need the space to keep up with the growing population.
When this building was built in 1999, 25 years ago, with the 75 employees, we've had a 62% increase in that. Right now, the city of Coeur d'Alene is about 58,000, and the build out is about 87,500. Today, we have 122 employees, and we only had locker room space for those 80. So many of us have our lockers, if you will, in bags under our desks or other places.
The first phase of the project is expected to be done sometime by next March. All right, 12:03 right now. We're going to head outside, join Thomas Patrick in the KREM 2 Outdoor Weather Center. Thomas, what do you know?
Yeah, well, we're going to jump right into Doppler radar, Laura, because there is a lot of scattered showers across the region, and some of them are dropping some pretty intense rainfall if you try to pick out some of the individual cells here. There's one that just crossed the Spokane River, and by the way, did you see that? There was one lightning strike off of that, showing you that these are convective style showers, which means they will have a little bit more energy and oomph to them. So if you find yourselves underneath them, you might get some big raindrops out of this. Another bigger cell was just north of Rosalia. It's just fizzling out as it's crawling to the south, and we'll watch this band that's extending from about Deer Park up towards Newport. It is slowly advancing towards the south and east, but I mean slowly, about like 5 miles per hour. So this is about where they're at, just in and around Kootenai County and over Coeur d'Alene and anywhere from northeastern Washington through most of North Idaho. And yes, Spokane County kind of in the midst of it, though we haven't seen any rain here in Spokane proper just yet. Up to 51 degrees, but much cooler over Coeur d'Alene where the cloud cover is a little bit more thick and widespread. 45 there versus 43 as well in Sandpoint. We'll be tracking some scattered showers for the rest of the day today, but look at the weekend ahead. A little bit warmer yet, but one more chance for showers. We'll take a deeper dive into that extended outlook in a few minutes.
Most of Washington state is under an emergency drought order because of our warm winter and a low snowpack. That could impact farmers, certainly, and drinking water as well. The state says after a very dry start to winter, there just isn't enough water in the reservoirs. The declaration makes millions of dollars available for agencies to be able to respond. Ecologists say people should get used to drier weather.
These conditions are something that we do expect to see more often here in Washington, and particularly for people in Western Washington, where we're used to having a rainy and wet climate.
By the way, this is one of the earliest drought declarations on record here in Washington state. Happening right now, the 2024 Washington GOP Convention. It is here in Spokane, and KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones telling us more about what party leaders have planned for a busy weekend.
Yeah, well, I think the big thing to keep an eye on is who the Republican Party in the state gives their nomination to run for governor. That's a discussion, that's a topic that is going to be at the center of everything this week. And you can see people from all types of support groups are already out here as the convention starts getting underway, and they're out here showing their support. But of course, with the convention officially kicking off today, it'll run through April 20th with sponsors like Representative Kathy McMorris Rogers and Secretary of State candidate Bob Hagelin. Along with that governor race we mentioned, party delegates from across the state are gathering to endorse candidates for state and federal elections. With that, the convention is encouraging all Republicans from across the state to attend, but you'll have to pay a basic guest fee of $50. So again, we're going to be keeping a close eye on who they decide to endorse for that governor race. And we also know that this coming election, that current governor Jay Inslee will not be seeking re-election. So definitely a big race coming up later in this year. But for now, reporting here in downtown Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.